dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 5:29. I'm Will Puckett.
And I'm Cassidy Strickland. I hope your Monday is off to a great start, off to a very foggy start.
Indeed, a very foggy start. So if you are slow to get going, if it's cold and mucky outside, today is not your day. So that's a perfect segue into tossing it over to Brandon so he can take it from there. But Brandon, it's a chilly start to the morning. Like Cassidy said, it's foggy, but is there any relief in sight?
Well, maybe a little bit later on this week, but not today and not tomorrow. Let's get into it with the camera network this morning. We start at UVA-wise, and you can see levels of fog throughout the evening hours. You up on top of US 119, Whitesburg, Pine Mountain, been foggy all night. So it's valleys, it's ridge tops, it's everywhere. We're seeing some fog this morning, and anything less than 5 miles is very dense fog, so be careful of that. Also, some slick spots possible due to some overnight flurries, so keep that in mind as you head out the door this morning. Temperatures right around freezing, right below it there, and warmer spots in the region, 35 in Middlesboro and 36 in Jacksboro. 35 your daytime high today. Flurries, drizzle possible throughout the day, and mostly cloudy skies. A full forecast on the way here in just a few minutes.
We will check back in with you shortly. Thank you, Brandon. In political news on this Monday, the longest government shutdown in history is now in its 24th day, and neither side appears ready to budge on funding a southern border wall.
It is unclear where President Trump stands on a deal. Over the weekend, he tweeted that the damage done to our country from a badly broken border is far greater than a shutdown. Democrats say the shutdown should end, and then they'll negotiate border security. A Republican ally of President Trump wants him to reopen the government.
I would urge him to open up the government for a short period of time, like 3 weeks, before he pulls the plug, see if we can get a deal.
Senator Graham says if no deal is reached, President Trump should declare a national emergency to fund the wall. 800,000 federal employees remain furloughed or working without pay. TSA employees are calling out sick at a higher rate. That forced Miami International Airport to close a terminal over the weekend.
Meanwhile, some people in Denver, Colorado stepped up to help TSA workers who are not receiving a paycheck. The two-man team called Boots 66 stopped at Denver International Airport this weekend. Their goal was to feed every hungry TSA employee free of charge. Boots 66 says they gave away about 2,000 meals. The pair started as an organization to honor fallen heroes. It's since expanded, however, to help even more people in the Colorado community.
Well, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is in Saudi Arabia. His visit comes as the kingdom continues to face scrutiny over the brutal murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Pompeo told Face the Nation that he will speak with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman about the killing when they meet today. The Washington Post reported in November that the CIA had concluded bin Salman had his advisor arrange the killing. Khashoggi was murdered and dismembered while visiting the Saudi consulate in Istanbul in October. The Crown Prince has denied any role.
This was an outrageous act, an unacceptable murder. Those who were responsible will be held accountable by the United States of America. We're determined to do that. We're determined to get at the facts just as quickly and as comprehensively as we can.
Now, despite outrage among many Americans, the White House has continued to show support for the prince. And for now, it is clear Pompeo considers bin Salman an ally.
Well, Jake Patterson is scheduled to appear in a Wisconsin courtroom today. The 21-year-old is accused of kidnapping Jamie Kloss and killing her parents. John Lawrence has more.
Nearly 3 months after her abduction, Jamie Kloss is back with her family.
In a safe house with a smile on her face. And that's all I need. That's all I want for Jamie.
This is the house where police believe the 13-year-old was held captive before escaping last week.
When Jamie wants to learn more about the case, we'll tell her. We're going to take it at her pace.
Jake Patterson is accused of taking Kloss after fatally shooting her parents.
It was a random act by the suspect, but it was a very well planned out attack on the Kloss home.
He's being held on preliminary charges of intentional homicide and kidnapping.
My family is still mourning the loss of their sister and their brother-in-law, and I can't even imagine being Jamie.
Authorities believe Patterson didn't have any help and are trying to piece together what happened.
We're looking for receipts where the suspect may have been over the last 88 days. Did he take things with her? Did she go with him to the store? Did he buy clothes for her? Did he buy food?
In the meantime, Jamie Kloss's relatives are happy to have her back home.
So we're just trying to come together as a family and as a community and as a country and take care of them.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Authorities say Patterson worked briefly at the same facility as the Kloss parents about 3 years ago. However, the president of the company says Patterson quit after just 1 day.
3 suspects are on the loose in Utah after a shopping center shooting. It happened at Fashion Place Mall yesterday. Police believe the shooting was gang-related, but they have not yet been able to track down the suspects. At least 2 people were injured, a man and a woman, both in their 20s, according to authorities.
Teachers in the nation's second largest school district, Los Angeles, are going on strike today. Teachers are demanding higher salaries, more nurses and counselors, and smaller class sizes. Teacher Amy Owen says some LA classrooms are packed with up to 50 children. After securing more state and local funding, LA Unified Superintendent Austin Bootner made another offer on Friday, including spending $130 million to raise salaries, adding 1,200 additional staff members, and decreasing class sizes.
We've done the best we can with the resources we have, with all the information that's been provided to us.
I think all of you would agree that that just doesn't cut it.
Now the strike will impact nearly 500,000 students.
Back in the bluegrass now, a Laurel County man is behind bars after deputies say he violated an emergency protection order. 42-year-old William Rains was arrested Friday. Deputies say he was found hiding under a bed just 75 feet from a woman who had filed an EPO against him. Rains was taken to the Laurel County Detention Center.
Also in Laurel County, a woman is facing several charges after deputies say she resisted arrest. Bless you, Will.
Thank you.
This is 37-year-old Jennifer Maggard. She was arrested Saturday. Deputies say they were called about an intoxicated woman. When they arrived, Maggard tried to run. After a short foot chase and scuffle, she was taken into custody. On the way to the detention center, however, deputies say she began hitting her head on the windows in the back of the police car and admitted to using a large amount of meth. Maggard faces several charges.
Well, every year, sheriff's departments in Kentucky start off with $0 in their bank account. They then borrow state money at the beginning of the year. In Perry County, Sheriff Joe Ingles says they can get money, but he says this year they may not be able to get as much due to a previous loan not being paid off.
$200,000 of it has been mailed in, and that would leave them owing $75,000. The state says they will release us $60,000 to begin, but we cannot borrow no more money after that till the other $75,000 is paid off. So, you know, we're held kind of hostage by this situation, and we hope. I've spoke with the county judge, and he's assured me that it will be paid off. He's been talking to the former sheriff, so he's assured me that hopefully that this is going to be paid off. So he's got high confidence, and hopefully it will be, so the people don't do without the services of the sheriff.
Well, this weekend, Blackhawk Mining sent more than 100 of their local miners to Hazard Community and Technical College for a retraining event.
Instructors say each miner must update their certificate of training forms each year.
WYMT's Taylor Upchurch explains.
We have Blackhawk doing their annual retraining.
An 8-hour session required by the state and the Mine Safety and Health Administration.
And that's what they're here today to do, is take their retraining to learn, make sure they don't make any mistakes or have any accidents.
About all we know around in these parts.
Coal is how they make a decent living, but without up-to-date certifications, none of these men could keep their jobs. Why? Because safety is key.
Well, actually every job is dangerous. You know, you just have to stay alert and, you know, watch what you're doing and watch your buddies.
Though mining is second nature for these men.
It's just a whole lot like driving while you're texting. You do that, what happens? There's a lot of accidents driving and texting. Same way with mining. It's a safety, you got to have a safety culture in mining to prevent accidents and fatalities.
They take advantage of what Blackhawk Mining provides for free.
Because if you don't, you know, you'll have to go, you know, the Mines and Minerals will give, you know, a free class, but, you know, if they ain't giving a free class, you have to wait or you have to pay for it out of pocket, you know, and it can get expensive.
As part of MSHA's training plan, all subjects must be covered before an instructor signs off on a minor's 5023 form. And though some procedures may just seem like common sense, these minors say simple reminders help refresh minds, young and old alike.
Like getting down off a dozer or something, you know, if it's been raining or, you know, freezing rain or whatever, that stuff, that metal gets slick, you know, and if you don't, you know, use your hand, hold your 3 points contact, then, you know, you can fall. And I've busted my old knees and skint machines and everything in the world, you know.
Making for safer work environments. In Perry County, Taylor Upchurch, WYMT Mountain News.
Retraining applies to those who simply need a refresher. If you are an inexperienced miner in need of mine training, you can go to our website, WYMT.com, for more information on how to get started. Well, straight ahead on Mountain News this morning, it may not have been pretty at the time, but Kentucky basketball got the job done to stay undefeated at Rupp and move to 2-1 in conference play on the men's side.
If you're tired of serving the same few things for dinner week after week, you're going to love what we're making today in less than 30 minutes. Yeah, less than 30 minutes.
While the start of the week looks dreary, there are some bright spots in the forecast. I'll tell you about them in about 2.5 minutes.